Our first comment is from Joseph Sorrentino 4920. Very first comment on the video, folks. You strike me as an incel. Friends, it's me, Bryan here for the Life of Bryan show, and I recently did a poll if you guys wanted to have me continue doing reading your comments videos, and overwhelmingly you guys like it. I know for me, if I like a YouTube channel, sometimes every now and then if I get the YouTuber commenting on my comment, giving me a shout out, I appreciate it. So I'd like to do that for you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, this channel would be nothing. So we're going to open a can of kombucha, good for digestion. The holidays are over. I'm back at it now. Back at what? I'm not sure. And we are going to read the comments on my video of... I did this video because I was getting a lot of comments on my viral video about, well, bro, if you don't like people, why why are you on YouTube? And you know, that is a very reasonable question. All the way a lot of people worded it wasn't so saying I was a hypocrite, saying I was this and that, and I was all this other stuff. But I want to read these comments, and let's do this. So let's get set up here. And what am I doing here? Our first comment is from Joseph Sorrentino 4920. Very first comment on the video, folks. You strike me as an incel. Okay. My first inclination was, is that a type of battery? But then when I researched what an incel is, according to Google, incel, a member of an online community of young men, do I look young? Who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women and men who are sexually active. Where were we here? Where do we go? So again, this is my if you avoid people, why YouTube video. Joseph, I am not an incel, and to be honest with you, I've never had a problem getting a girlfriend or these things that we're talking about here. And I want to give a shout out to my good friend Carlos Morris, going, wow, that's a very judgmental thing to say. Thank you. Okay. So Joseph, just out of curiosity, view channel. Okay, there's no content there. Okay. And I've lost my place. So here, let's go back to... this shouldn't be too hard, though. There's a good amount of comments, not like the viral video, but we'll get our spot here really quickly. Okay, so moving on. Authenticity, MG. But it's not judgmental asking a simple question by asking why you're on YouTube. So, she's right. And I think a few other people might have mentioned something about that in the comments. So here's the thing. In the beginning of this, I said, I can watch YouTube and be judgmental too and everything. And there's a part that they're not seeing. In my viral video, I had hundreds of people call me different things, say that I was a liar, a sellout, all these other things. They're like, well, if you really mean what you're saying, you wouldn't be on YouTube. So as I explained in the video, so I think I was that was what was in my head when I said that. Not the best choice of words. So authenticity, MG, you're right. Not the best choice of words, but that's the backstory on it. Okay? And the next person, Chris Campbell. Same thing. You lost me when you said, guys, I think the same way when I watch a YouTube video, I become judgmental and become Mr. Critical. Whoa, just because someone asks, why are you on YouTube? If you don't like people, it's not a judgmental or critical question. It's a logical question. No judgment, no criticism, just logic. And that's very true, Chris. You guys are right. I'm not... It was the backstory behind it that wasn't in that video. So the way it came across, I had hundreds of people calling me every name in the book saying, well, you're not really being authentic, man. Because if you didn't like people, you wouldn't be on YouTube. And as I explained in the video, I'm a creative person. As you can see, I'm a musician. I'm an artistic person, not with painting. I couldn't even draw a stick figure if my life depended on it. But, yeah. So that's the backstory behind it. We got some good stuff going on here in the reading the comments. Well, there's good stuff on all the comments on every video, but Kombucha. I haven't done this in a while. This is really fun. Baby Tig Tig, $37.95. How much do you make much money from this channel? So this story, I actually put a video up about this last week on my Patreon, if I can use that word. There's a little bit of controversy out now with my recent video about Patreon. It offends a lot of people. If you do a Patreon, check out that recent video if you need to. My story is very interesting. I will make a video about it. You know, I'm not crazy talking about money. I think a lot of people aren't. But the reality of my channel and the viral video, I'll give it to you in a nutshell, is like this. I started the channel November of 2024. The video that went viral was my third video. The channel wasn't even monetized. It wasn't even close to being monetized. So, to monetize your channel, you need 1,000 subscribers and I think 3,000 hours of watch time. YouTube, they want to make sure that you're legit, you're sticking around, you're not just trying to play some funky games and disappear. But very quickly, when the video took off, I reached those. I reached all those credentials, so I was able to apply. So when I applied, I had to wait a while, and I was turned down for monetization while the video was going crazy with all the views. So I had to go through this crazy thing called the appeal process. And after more weeks that went by, and by this time the viral video was really slowing down, it was getting towards the end of the crazy run. I did eventually get monetized, so yes, I made a little bit of money from it. But the channel's new, and I think part of the problem with what had happened was third videos on most channels never go viral like that. That was very weird, because usually it seems like, I'll use the algorithm word in the beginning, it's like the algorithm, it's working against you. It takes time to get your channel going, but it was crazy. And yes, I actually looked at the statistics and the analytics and everything and calculated what I would have missed, what I would have been paid if I would have been monetized at that time, and it was pretty crazy. But no, so I made a little bit of money, to answer your question. Dave LD 3DR, how about I'd rather have 4 quarters and 100 penny. Okay, so he's making a play on words about it's better to have, what did I say, 1,000 friends at a distance than 10 or 100 friends in person. Okay. Metal Ventor, this is just early life trauma, so he's talking about my video where I avoid people that grow emotionally or shut down from being hurt throughout their childhood or early adulthood. It's just a coping mechanism and definitely nothing to be proud of. This is why older Americans suffer from loneliness. That's a great post. Carlos Morris. So what is this really? Extreme social anxiety? Well, it's very apparent I'm not the only one with it. That video and the response shocked. I'm eating oysters. It shocked the hell out of me. It was crazy. It's just a coping mechanism, definitely nothing to be proud of. This is why older Americans suffer from loneliness. Okay, that was metal. Come on, kombucha, kick in here. Is there even caffeine in this? Sorry, Carlos. I'm a recluse too, for the most part, but this sounds like a phobia. I'm honestly not trying to be judgmental, but just honestly asking. I mean, I choose to be away from people, but this sounds like something more, like a fear of people. You know, guys, I'm going to tell you, when I started this channel, I wanted to be the life of Bryan. I've had crazy stories. I've done a lot of stuff in my life, and you guys are going to know about it. I'm going to tell you guys about it, and I am not perfect. I am a very flawed human, probably more flawed than all of you put together. But I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, and it just seems like, and especially in my 40s, I saw a lot of crazy stuff with people. Maybe that had to do with the way society was changing or not. For me, it's just, I just find life simpler when you just avoid people as best you can. But getting back to the video, why I have a YouTube channel. But I like YouTube because it feels more safe, and it's not as invasive as the other social media apps that I've explained that in previous videos. So, none of your business. Another great supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. Zell Barnap, non-invasive X. I have avoided most social media. Don't get hooked in the drama, right? What do you do to get out of X? I actually respond to this one. And this is, so what I said then is what I'm saying now. I'm actually not sure about it anymore. I haven't been on it long. Might not be much longer. I I've actually was going to bring up in a community post today or tomorrow. I'm thinking about axing my X or Twitter account. Just not on it. Beanie Moto, you're a legend, brother. Oh, you're too kind. 5150 Pearl. I'm going to guess that he's a musician. Me too. Okay, cool. James Burke, mate, looks cold there. It's about 90 degrees in your language where I am. I actually go by Celsius. The only time Fahrenheit makes sense to me is when we're talking about pool temperature. But I appreciate you commenting, James. Susie Stone. Hi, Brian. Artwork, do-it-yourself YouTube uploads, boxing, animals, me in a nutshell. You know, I don't know about the boxing. You mean the combat sport, or do you mean like putting things in boxes? And artwork. A lot of people very similar to that. I think one of the things, what happened with that video is the comment section took on a life of itself, which made the video, help the video take off. But a lot of people had those very sentiments. Okay. Alan Frost. Amen, Brian. Thank you, Alan. My good friend Heather, really good supporter of the channel. Heather, you are appreciated, my friend. Growing up, I loved drawing cartoon style. Well, post some of your cartoons sometime. I'd like to see them. Too Many Adventures. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Chris Blackstock, my friend. Great vid. Thank you, Chris. Jammy J. The thing is, we don't have to tell everyone what we are doing, where we are going. People don't care. I'm away for a few days. Haven't told anyone, and I'm loving the peace. Do whatever you want. Whatever you want to, I say. Okay, Jammy J. Kombucha time. Cheers to you. Listen, Facebook is the worst. You know, and what really sucks is if you have a small business and you have to have a Facebook account to have a business page, it sucks. But Facebook's the worst because, and I guess Instagram too, because if you're posting your day-to-day activities, it feeds the gossip wheel with the people around you. Then you have to explain more things, and I found those are really invasive. I guess I can get Instagram to a little bit of a point, but Facebook is just awful. I really believe that Facebook is one of the great evils of the world. I really do. It could start world wars. You know, you post something, and then it has nothing to do with a certain person, but then they'll read it on your Facebook and they just assume it's about them, and then you get these messages. Like, it's just crazy. And yes, but here's another thing to think about. If you post on Facebook, oh, we're going away on vacation, we're going to Cuba, well, you're telling everybody that you're not going to be home. I saw a documentary about how criminals, they use that in Google Street Maps. It's crazy. They scout out your house using that and find all the entrances, and then they have fake dummy Facebook accounts to see when people are leaving their homes. It's crazy. KLGG, big supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. And also to Trish, Marin Sparkles, huge love and thanks, Brian. You're very welcome. Thank you, Trisha. Enigmax 112112. This is a very nice and lovely thing to avoid people. Yes, you can view them from a distance. Yes. The farther they are away, the better. Elon Musk. I saw the thumbnail and thought to myself, I have to watch that video for the answer. There you go. Justin J. Wart. 6 out of 7 days a week, I avoid people and work alone. I enjoy making videos. That is fantastic. And while you're saying that, Justin, I am going to go to your channel and I'm going to subscribe. And I'm going to comment right now on your channel. 40 miles of flashing lights. I'm going to give you a like. And there you go. Okay. Excellent, Justin. Appreciate it. Oh, who's this guy again? I don't want to see myself. It's funny because when I edit a video and it's up, I don't want to see myself anymore. Okay. Where are we here? What's going on? Whoa. Okay, now where did Justin go? Oh, okay. Here we are. We're way down here. Okay. Working our way up. Anun Rain. Good greetings, Brian. I just subscribed to your channel. Well, thank you. I avoid people because I feel that most of them treat me like just walking down the street, they walk all over me with bad, stuck-up vibes. I've suffered abuse, etc. Also, Been bullied and had horrible things happen to me too. If I was surrounded by better people too, and then for me, then I probably wouldn't avoid people so much. People who treat one with respect and kindness and care and wish well and are genuine, sincere, and was comfortable. Okay, I get it. I'm sorry to hear that. Noon Rain. So I'm going to go and I'm going to view your channel. Okay, I have subscribed. I was scammed by a romance scammer. That's awful to hear. I hope you are okay. Okay, comment. Okay, seems like a very nice person. Okay. Oh God, me again. But I do that. Like sometimes what I'll do, especially with the viral video, there were so many comments. So because if I respond to one, I got to respond to all, which is fine. But when it's 30,000, that's hard to do. But what I do is I read all the comments. So if I see some of them I really like a lot of them, and some people I'll just go on and I'll just subscribe to their channel. Check out I'll check out what they've got going on. Okay. Robert Nelson, 2719. Imagine Adam and Eve realizing they were the only ones and then contemplate how long it must have taken before they felt crowded with people up in their grill. Do you suppose some of us in this 2024 population have some remnant in our DNA that longs for privacy and wide open spaces? Could be. And those feelings began on day one. I find it worth noting that in most cases, the most successful and creative people treasure the privacy above all else. Yes. What was his name? The writer of Catcher in the Rye. I gotta look it up. I should know that name, Catcher. J.D. Salinger. He had a personality disorder. It was something called Bryan losing where he is in the comments. He had J.D. Salinger. It's very famously, he had something called avoidant personality disorder. And I don't have it, but I think I envied people who had that, and I tried to develop a bit of my own the past several years. But yeah, very true. Renee Emo, thank you so much. Rusty Old Micro Farm. My channel, I try to stick with small farming stuff. It's a good way to exchange information with others. I've been thinking about a new one that deals with subjects like these, but so far I haven't gotten up the guts yet. I know you can do it, and I'm going to subscribe to your channel. Okay. Now, I'm Thrash SFU. So looking at this, I'm wondering if he's a Slayer, Testament, Exodus fan. But every social media site works positively if done for positive reasons and is balanced with more important things in life. For some, it's just a tool to deal with their mental problems, spew toxicity, or be a source of addiction. As a creative person myself, I've used it as a creative outlet more than anything. Very cool. Actually, I've already subscribed to your channel. Okay. Y9847. It's called The Sound of Silence. No reality TV. Oh, reality TV is the worst. Although that show alone, I didn't mind. But when that Big Brother show came out, I'm like, really? Like, I'm not going to watch this. I haven't been a big TV person for a long time. I don't even remember the last time I had like paid for cable and televisions. Like I've been at YouTube. I've enjoyed YouTube a lot for the past several years, but I don't. Sometimes even Netflix gets on my nerves. But I don't know. They have a lot of the same formulas. And if you guys notice, the themes keep getting darker and darker and darker with the stories and stuff. So it's kind of, I don't know. Why? 9847. It's called The Sound of Silence. Not okay. Very good. Thank you. What is going on with this? Okay, Tommy Chu. I've seen a few of Tommy's comments here. I've liked the freedom of YouTube, even though it seems to be diminishing in recent times also. I hope they can right the ship because I can't stand watching network TV. Yes. And did I say that in that video? I haven't watched that video in a long time. You know when you see YouTube channels and it's so polished? Like I have a good friend of mine. He was actually a guitar student of mine 20 years ago. And he has some YouTube channels, and they're big, and they're way bigger than my channels. And once in a while, like when the Patreon issue popped up, I talked to him about it. But he has people working for him. It's like a company, you know, and that's what a lot of, and even some of these people, like some of the bigger names, as they get popular, and if they're fortunate enough to get into some serious money, they start hiring editors, they start hiring videographers that follow them around with the camera and stuff. So that opens up more time for them. Like a small fry like myself, I come up with the ideas. I have my phone, and I'll put. So for any of you who are potential YouTubers out there, I have a note file, and anytime I come up with something that might be interesting in my head, I write it down, the topic idea. But then I have to think it out. A lot of what I say is just off the top of my head, believe it or not. I was never the best speaker, but I've worked on my speaking. I'm and having to perform professionally as a musician, and I think that's really helped me out a lot. But and then the editing. Sometimes some videos I can edit in 20 minutes. Some other ones might take 2 or 3 hours. So, that was the big thing too with when we had the big Patreon ordeal there. When I mentioned about a Patreon, I have some videos that I don't think are YouTube worthy. Sometimes I get asked certain questions, and to make videos, I don't want to put them up on YouTube. That might be too much. I just thought a little thing on the side for Patreon, whoever wanted to, a couple bucks a month. But it offended a lot of people. So it's kind of like, now the ethical question is, as a digital creator who's not, I'm actually working 3 jobs right now, 4, to help make ends meet here. Where do you draw the line with where you can make money and where you can't make money? It's an interesting video if you haven't seen it. But I got into this engagement with this fellow who was, and I really worked hard to see things from his perspective. And I even said, hey, email me. Let's talk about it. Let's talk on Zoom, Well, I tried to email you, but my email app keeps shutting down and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, moving along here. Always appreciate your comments, Tommy. I appreciate everyone's comments. Rockin' E-Round. Like most people who enjoy YouTube, I also enjoy reading the comments. However bold or harsh or subtle they may be, it gives a snippet of a person's perspective. I do comment from time to time on channels, and it usually isn't a unique position. Anyway, enjoy, everyone. And one of the things, I'm going to get into this in another video. You'll probably hear me say a lot of that, because I don't want to take up, I respect your time. And as you guys probably notice, I try and keep my videos reading your comments, we got to take more time, but I really try and keep my videos under 10 minutes. But I have had a lot of people over the years, and especially more recently, say, I'd love to do a YouTube channel, but I can't handle if there's negative comments. Well, you can turn the negative comments off if you want. It's not good for your algorithm. But sometimes you have to be able to differentiate what's a hating comment. But there's a lot of comments that I get from people that are really good constructive criticism that I'm like, yeah, I can improve my channel that way. Thank you. Sometimes people can't differentiate between that when they're criticized. So my good friend Saberwolf, he's been a big supporter of the channel here. And I appreciate your, let's see if he's got I've already subscribed to his channel. I strongly agree with you, bro, because personally I love YouTube. It's a lot better than the other social medias I had before. But I got rid of them due to certain issues. That's why I have no desire to go back on them ever again. However, I've gained experience from it. It's all about showing them what you can do on a daily basis. So stay positive and keep doing what you're doing. You're the best. You are really too kind, my friend. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I hope to maybe actually meet some of you in person someday. How could we set that up? Do I invite people here for a barbecue? That would be a little weird. The guy who avoids people, has a barbecue with 1,000 people here. Hans Gruber. So I actually knew him from years ago from my lifting days. Good guy from Boston. So when I see him, he's 18.2K. So I think he was talking about my subscriber count. Yeah, buddy. He's from Boston. So when I talk to him, I always say, park the car in Harvard Yard. So Justin Award. Okay. 6 out of 7 days a week, I avoid people and work. Okay, I was just on your channel, Justin. Cynthia 216. It's easier to socialize when you don't have to actually physically mingle. But sometimes I'd like to know why the people on YouTube have walls up. Like they read the comments, but at this time of year, sometimes people need a personal touch, not in a weird way. Love the music at the end of your video. Okay. I wrote that and I recorded it over here on my old Cubase setup. That song's probably about 10 years old. I wanted to write kind of a medieval soundtrack. I believe it's in the key of B minor. I have all the music for it. I'll have to go back and look at it. The recent workout video I posted, that music's mine. But anyway, Bryan Mean, he's been a big supporter of the channel too. I can participate with space Interesting comment, Bryan. I feel the same about social media. I'm a pretty introverted guy and in my late 30s, and needless and less face-to-face social time. I need very little at this point, and random posting on YouTube and Reddit scratches my social itch. I've had more to the point interesting convos online than I've had face-to-face. Plus, online there's no small talk. I truly despise small talk. Very interesting. Bryan, I appreciate you, and man, you've been a pretty big supporter of my channel here, man. Millerville, 2000. Great listening to you again. I like YouTube because with the right channels, it's nice to see people talk about things. In person, people are awkward, closed off, rude, quiet, in a bad, confusing way. YouTube people can shine and bring something to the table. That is why I like YouTube, but limit people in my life. Very great post, Millerville. Thank you so much. Bobby Henderson. And also, I want you guys to know, like, sometimes if you make a comment and I don't like it, it's because I'm saving it for these reading your comment videos. So now you can physically see me, say your name, read your comment, give you my thoughts on your comment. And it's a great thing for everybody. Bobby Henderson, G8M. Thank you, Bryan. There are a lot of us out here. Well, thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. You know, I did a few reading your comments videos, and then I'm like, I don't know, do people like this or not? So we're going to stick with it for a while, right? My initial thought after I did the first few reading your comments videos, I was just going to do them, but because they're so long, I would put them up on the other thing that starts with P that offends people. So, but for now, I'll put them up here. Diana Gross, 2 mottos to live your life by. Accept the worst out of people, or just she mean accept the worst out of people, and then you can be pleasantly surprised when they do good and limit disappointment. You know, Diana, I got to tell you, that's already my mindset. I've been practicing that for a long time. You can never count on anyone except yourself. I used to be a people person, but not anymore. The worst, Diana, is when you keep the bar really low and your expectations really low and people don't even hit that. It's pretty disappointing. Desert Thunder Down Under. Thanks, Bryan. I like the way you think on pushing back with crowds, concert mayhem, shopping excursions. I'm 53 years young. I have an incredibly gifted and amazing life, but the less I share with others and relax on doing things that are no longer bring me joy it once did, the better my life feels and grows with gratitude and strength. Solitude is choosing to be on one's own, and that is not being selfish, that is being self-aware. Okay? All right. So I think he's from Australia, of course. Member Rebem. Yes, 54 here. Became more of a recluse since 2020 and 2019 Sears Healthcare. Retired early, have given my whole life to everyone, emotionally, materially, etc. It feels good being that good to myself. Be well. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Alaskan Summertime. So this fellow, he's got an interesting channel. He's up in Alaska, and it's pretty cool. I started a channel as I feel like a prisoner being kept in solitary most days. Most of the people I run into on the street are complete freaking lunatics. Of course, I live in Anchorage, Alaska. So there's that. Having a channel and posting videos once in a while is like a prisoner in solitary speaking through the vents to a person in the same situation as him. I look at it as my little window to the world. It's a creative outlet. Exactly. You never see each other's face, but you keep each other from going mental. That's cool, man. That's a great way to look at it. VVOL FFLOVV. Over time, people show their true colors. This is very true. Kasibwaya, speaking from experience. Okay. So, guys, that is reading your comments for if you avoid people, why a YouTube channel? That's one of the very, very common question I would get on my viral video. So that is reading your comments, and that's our discussion. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'm not going to ask people to like and subscribe. I don't even do that anymore. But I hope you're well. Kombucha to you. And this is Bryan, signing off.